Hey guys, this is Chris with FrozenSoldierAirsoft, and today we're going to be doing a review on one of my favorite squad automatic weapons. This is the A&K M249 SAW Mark II. So the first thing I'd like to start off with is what this gun comes with in the box. Now, since I had traded this off of a friend, I don't actually have the original manual. He did, in fact, earlier this week, found the manual. I read through it. There's absolutely nothing in there worth keeping. Doesn't even have a parts guide. So that does come in the box. It's basically just a little booklet of common sense. The next thing I'd like to move on to is the 2,500 round box mag that this gun comes in the box with. And then the other thing I'd like to mention real quick is that these fake 5.56 rounds do not actually come in the box with it, so don't get too excited. But I will put a link in the description below so that way you guys can purchase these along with your SAW. So now this is an auto winding drum mag. Simply flip it over, and on the bottom here you'll see auto, sound control, and off. So obviously the middle is off, the left is sound control, and the right is auto. So now you're probably wondering what auto and sound control, what are the differences between that? Well, auto, if you flip it to auto, as soon as you flip that switch, it will keep winding the mag until you flick it to off. Or if you flick it to sound control. But until you move it to a different selection, it will keep winding. So that means you run the risk of breaking this magazine if you keep winding it when it's wound to the point where you could chip some internals, break the little winding gears, you know. So auto isn't the best. I would definitely recommend using the next setting. So the next setting I'd like to discuss is flipping it over to sound control. Now, sound control is a really cool option that I wish they had on every single auto winding box mag. This is a nifty little device, and as the name states, it controls the sound. You know, it doesn't make it any quieter as it's winding, but every time you pull the trigger, it winds about 20 to 30 more BBs. Next, we're moving on to the weapon. This is one of my favorite squad automatic weapons of pretty much all time. So we're just going to start off with the basic build components here. I'm not going to go really in too depth like cracking the gearbox open, but I will kind of tell you all these nifty little features. So I'm going to point to the areas that are made out of nylon fiber reinforced polymer, so they are very, very sturdy. So the stock, the handguard, the grip, the heat shield, and including this little gray piece right here, and the texturized part of the carrying handle are all made out of polymer. Everything else that you see on this gun is made out of stamped steel, which makes this gun incredibly durable, but as well as a little bit on the heavy side. This gun weighs 15 pounds unloaded and 17 pounds fully loaded with a 9.6 volt 1600 milliamp butterfly type battery. So moving on to the gun's internal features. One thing I'd like to mention before we move on is that it does have fully adjustable front and rear sights. I do not think the front sights are adjustable for windage, but they are definitely adjustable for elevation. Rear sight is very, very adjustable. It's almost kind of like an M14 sight when it comes to adjustability, not style. So to access the top of your gearbox, simply squeeze these two buttons in the rear and flip this hatch open. As you can see on the top, there it is a full metal gearbox. One feature I liked about the A&K M249 SAW is a quick change spring guide. Simply unscrew this screw in the rear and tap out this pin, and you can remove the rear stock, depress this switch on the top, and spring assembly simply comes out the rear. Now the hop-up is fully adjustable. The hop-up dial is located here, and I found to be very reliable. And next, one of my other favorite features on the M249 SAW. Simply depress this lever right here, pulling it back will release your front barrel assembly. This is pretty neat for if you ever have a jam on the field or simply do a lot of tech work and want to access your inner barrel and hop up pretty easily. And one of the final features I'd like to mention before we go is the fully adjustable foldable bipod. Pretty neat. It is made out of stamped steel and definitely is pretty durable. Now with the gun completely stock, it was shooting about 360 to 380 feet per second with a .2 gram BB. Definitely making this ideal for outdoor play. But since it does have the quick change spring guide, if you really wanted to, which I would not suggest, you could take this into an indoor environment. So this pretty much wraps up the review of the A&K M249 Saw Mark II. So thanks for watching, guys, and please subscribe. And next, one of my favorite features of the M249 Saw. Simply depress this spring right here, and you pull through.